olwaleero tugenda kwogera ku mulamwa gwa the impact of TV on our children. Abaana bali waka bali kumpi kuddayo masomero, but what is their interaction with television? Omuzadde, how do you control that at home? How long do they spend watching the TV? Abantu abamu bagambye nti abazadde tugenda ku mirimu abaana tukozesa TV as a distraction. Mujira mula ye daycare. As long as they are watching TV,
they are safe.
Owulira ng'obadduseeko chija by entertaining her for the rest of the day. But we look at the impact or Zacheta Gisa, what are the guidelines of TV around our children? Walie Kanawe, again a Facebook page for Bereko Nichoyogira, tweet us at Minibuzz Uganda. I'll probably start asking some mama. Abana, do you have any idea Abana would the Malaku TV?
Yes, I have, because I'm a mother.
Yes.
Basically, children, you need to program children.
Please speak louder.
Yeah, you need to program your children. When you leave home, set them a program. A child is not supposed to dwell on TV throughout the day. There are some things they should do. When you leave home, like I'm a mother, I'm working. I know I've left home. I can still call back and find out how are my children. What are you guys doing? What are you doing? Have you taken your breakfast?
Yes.
Yes. What are you doing? We are washing. Fine. Because you know when a child is washing, can't watch TV.
Right.
So you keep getting updates on phone?
Yes, I'm updated on everything.
Right.
Okay.
However much you try to control them,
yes,
but others are difficult, especially when you leave them and you go to work, especially you may not have a phone at home to go back and see what they are doing, as she said, but you try as much to talk to them. You tell them too much of watching television is not even good for your sight, and you try to see that at least they do what you want, but it needs ongoing counseling.
How do you control children? Kati totoli waka tomanyi chichebala olimu ogenda ku mulimu and they are left there, but every time you call to check, are you fine? They are saying
we are fine, we are wonderful.
But depending on how you brought up your child also, because a child needs to listen. There is bringing up a child in a tricky way. Children are tricky, especially when they reach to adolescence. They can't listen. They are tricky. They have their own needs.
Yes.
But there are children who listen. Right?
That program, when we are growing up, Riviera, they tell us, we go.
Another life.
And we knew it. When it is time after Ballet Francis, it is time for Riviera, we have to go to bed.
To sleep.
There's no debate about that.
Parents should be models of their kids.
Yes.
First of all, Christian families have the way of bringing up their kids by teaching them good values.
The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that kids under 2 years old should not watch TV. Mwana below 2 years they want to have TV. And that those older than 2 watch no more than 1 to 2 hours a day of quality programming. Quality programming for a child.
Bageze kwerolemeza mu bukatuni bukomewo baladiyo bagere kuzika tuni zawe.
Nze nagambye katuni ezandibadde nnungi abaana okuzira. Kubanga kati zote ziraga bintu bikyamu binnyo biri naye kati abaana balabanga firimu ezo zirimu ebibyo ziyigiriza ate abaana ze baba baagala. Kati nandisabye abazadde bandibaddewo ne program. Ebe time ya TV, ebe time ya TV, ebe time ya housework, ebe time ya housework na tuwali kwa niyani.
Right.
Kampala?
Boss, you can sit behind me. TV has effects that will translate into your child's life. Paka, and some of in the US violence. Mwana walaba nze nakula njagala kubanga nga Rambo. Okulwana. sagala kumanya njizamu balulirwe nalabye mu rambo. So that's the effect that TV is bringing. But we got an opportunity to speak to Paul Nyende, who is a psychologist and a lecturer at Makerere University. We know about TV control. Tubuze abantu ku bus. How should we control? Twagala practical ways. When your child lock keys or remotes, are we using them? And what should the TVs in Uganda do to cater for our children?
Television is good for children. Television exposes children to a number of things. It helps children get exposed to the world, as well as the video games. It also gives them a number of skills. It educates them, but at the same time it can create a few problems, especially when it is uncontrolled. Many times children develop a shorter attention span, and there is increased violence depending on what they are watching. Allowing children to watch television all day long is not very advisable, because it causes a lot of exhaustion and then prevents them from interacting with the external world or the real world. So they are locked up into the television world, and they miss a lot on the social skills and the benefits of social interaction. Parents need to censure what is watched by their children. They need to also find time to sit and watch with children and talk to them about the program itself, guide them. Many times people do not care much about the code given on a particular program. 18 and above, the younger children should not be watching. Parental guidance is needed for a number of programs, so as you watch, you talk about what you are watching. In a way, you inoculate them against violence and against pressure to engage in using drugs and using alcohol, etc., when you interact with them as they watch the program. But essentially, there must be a time limit for how much time they need to spend on the television. Give them a time limit, and then thereafter, they need to be involved in real-life social interactions.
Hello, no, it's not. You're two.
Yeah. Then can come and
someone can sit behind. I wanted to ask, are there constructive things that children actually learn from TV?
Yeah. Some programs.
Yes.
Like you may admire like these children who are taken to be TV presenters. When a child watches, can be inspired to also at least do something, so that maybe one day, one time can be also on TV like that.
Okay.
And even you may see children singing on the television, and what maybe they are in school choirs and they take them to TVs to sing. They see their colleagues on TV singing. They may be inspired to also join the school choirs and
become
yes.
There's something she was saying. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to say there's this program itself, Minibuzz. You always talk about some, like the last time I watched it, it was about those kids in Busoga. Yeah, and you are talking about kids going to school, those parts.
Yes.
Most of them staying home to dig. They can also learn from such a program.
Yes. We are inspiring people. Yes, constructive things go all mwana asobola kuyiga ngalabi TV.
Mwana kyasobola okuyiga ku TV. Asobola okulaba ebintu nga ebiriko nga birungi ng'ebyokuyimba, nga bwe bazina n'agamba wembeera ku ssomero nsobola wenjiyizayo oluyimba lwange nenyimba bwenti nange nsobola okukola ki okuzina bwenti.
Do you believe that when a child, for example, watches a violent movie, naye afuuka violent?
Some kids, when they watch, like, let me say in cartoons, okay, they do some bad things.
You know, there are some kids who are so inquisitive, they want to know, so they tend to try want to know, try, you know, what they say, so let me give it a try.
Yes.
They even begin branding themselves with those names, you know.
You
know, I am called so and so because I watched it on this. I like that guy.
You actually have a workmate who was complaining that his curtains are all torn because kids swing on them like Spider-Man. Came home and the curtains were all down because they were swinging and throwing their net like Spider-Man.
Yes.
So really, you can be Jack Chan in the process.
I also encourage them to watch, especially the news, the current affairs of the country. So it's very good. It's very educative. Ask a child what's going on now in Uganda, they'll be able to tell you.
Hey, people know what's going on with Kazinda. You are joking.
Kazinda, Nepanda died, this and that, she was killed, they say, they claim. So, children are updated.
How have those things kids watch affected their behavior? As in, I want to know, what do kids do these days that you're sure are a result of watching TV that they're not supposed to watch?
You find those young kids trying those things they've just seen on TV.
Which one?
Like kissing. Find that a young kid, a kid of like 6 years kissing a sister. But not knowing, not doing it from the bottom of his heart, but just teachers just see it on the TV.
But they are busy.
We are raised up to like not to answer to our parents when they say something that's fine. But since we watch like those movies and the kids are talking back to their parents, they like to explain and tell the father, you're wrong. Those days we couldn't say that. When your dad says this and this, that's so final. Your mom. But these days,
you don't just tell a child
children
don't
have
do
their
this.
rights. We have to explain that you're wrong
It's
in
my
this
rights.
and this and this. It's my right to talk. It's my right to say this. So that's
Right.
also.
My mother would slap the rights out of me.
Njagala, you know, practical solutions. Usimanyi wa remote zaffe tulina zina child lock. Do you ever lock channels and say this can only be watched when I put a password? You can say NTV to judge tan kojira bakusaba and ubatoliwo password abana tebajira. So that's one of the other ways to control excessive watching TV. Eyes Angel says, I totally support it. That's the meaning of holiday. School is equal to books. Home is equal to eat and chillax. It's better than them going to loiter on the streets and spending money they don't make or earn.
People have. Anyway, it's Minibuzz. You have to put your
during
opinion.
holidays, just let
them chillax.
Let them chillax and watch TV.
It depends on what they are
chillaxing.
What they are watching. Yes. Of course, if you have an opinion, please go to Facebook, Minibuzz Uganda. Like the page first. Tulinga abantu kenda want to be 10,000 people by the end of this year.